Before we start with this video, I wanted to tell you to stick around until the end because I made something special for you guys. Now don't skip anything, watch the whole video and then see what I made for you guys. Well, see you at the end. Bye. Hello everybody. What you're looking at is my 3D printer. I have had a 3D printer for a while, but the last couple of years it's just been standing here. I haven't done anything with it. It's time to change that. I want to have fun, be creative with it again. It's sitting in a heat box that I made for it at some point. It's just, on the outside it's just a kind of a closet. Yeah, I haven't used it in a couple of years now. And I'm kind of sad about that. It's taking up a lot of space and I'm like, if I'm not going to use it and it's taking up that much space, it's kind of useless, but I do want to use it. So today I'm going to try and recalibrate it, clean this up. This is the heat plate where the print has to stick to. And as you can see, it's really dirty. I want that to be clean again. And yeah, so follow along and see if I get my 3D printer to work today. What you see on here, the dirty stuff, is both hairspray and glue. Glue from tape. Because when you want a plastic to stick to this piece of glass, you've got to have a grippy surface, which you then make with hairspray and some tape. I've got this product here label off. I'm gonna spray it on here and it's gonna dissolve the glue that's on here and then I can wipe it off. So let's get started. It's on there, sprayed it on there. Now I'm gonna let it rest for like 5 minutes. Okay, it's been sitting here for a little bit. Gonna take a piece of paper and wipe it off. And then use this little knife to scrape off all the other stuff and see how clean I can get it. Okay, that's clean enough. Time to put that back into the 3D printer. Alright, my build plate, heat plate is all nice and clean. This is on a metal plate that heats up. This becomes 100 degrees Celsius. So that again the plastic goes down nice and flat and doesn't warp. This entire room, it's insulated here, as you can see. I've got a heat lamp in there that's already turned on to heat all this up to about 30 degrees Celsius. So it's ready for calibrating and testing in a little bit. But now back to the oven and put the plastic in there. Okay, a 3D printer doesn't use ink, it uses plastic. And this plastic comes in these kinds of spools. It's a plastic wire. In this case, I'm working with ABS plastic. And this plastic needs to be dry to use. Because if there's too much moisture in it, it will start bubbling and popping. And yeah, when the printer melts this plastic to use it, you don't want any moisture in it. Since it has been a couple of years since I used this plastic, I'm thinking it probably has some moisture in it. So I need to get rid of that. And the way to do that is in the oven. So I'm going to turn on the oven and you want it to be at around 80 degrees Celsius for ABS plastic. Not any hotter than that because then the plastic might start fusing together and melting. You want the oven to heat up a little bit because Most ovens, while they heat up, they fluctuate in temperature too much, and then you again might melt your plastic. Ooh, I almost fell over. So once it's at 80 degrees Celsius, I'm gonna put it in there, and it then can stay in there for a couple of hours. On internet they say anywhere between 1 to 6 hours. The longer you leave it in there, the more moisture will evaporate. So the oven is on. Now I'm just gonna have to wait and do something else while it's heating up. Since it's so important that I don't melt the plastic in there, and this oven doesn't have a good readout on its temperature, it just is like around that temperature when you, like as you can see here, it doesn't actually say the temperature, it's just like, yeah. So I've got myself a little laser thermometer, which you can see. I definitely do not have a fever. Let's see if it's 80 degrees Celsius in there, and then it's ready for the plastic. Okay, let's see. It is 93, so that is too hot. So I'm gonna lower this a little bit, and then, yep, I'm gonna wait a little bit to let it cool down before I put my plastic in there. Time to do another temperature check. Okay, so it's a little, just giving it a little inky pinky. There we go. Okay, so as you saw, it's like 77 degrees in the oven. At some places it's harder, at some places it's colder. That's probably because I had the door open. It's not a constant temperature when the door is open. I'm just gonna put it in there and have it in there for a while, at least an hour, probably more, and see how it turns out. This is the first time I'm doing this, so fingers crossed everything goes well. Okay, let's put it in here. And hope this goes well. I hope I don't end up with a puddle of plastic. That would be less than good. Okay, it's been an hour now. Let's check on the plastic filament that I've put in my oven and see if I haven't got a puddle of plastic in the bottom of my oven. Looks pretty good. It's not bad. Still looks normal. Okay, so that's been an hour. It's doing its thing. Looks good. So I'm hoping it will stay that way. Okay, while the filament, the plastic, is drying up in my oven, it's time to start working with the 3D printer itself. And here we go. So again, here's my 3D printer, and here's the control box. So we're gonna test it's working correctly. Pressing the button here, we go down to prepare, and we're gonna press auto home, which will allow us, when we press that, it will try to go to this corner. Then it goes down, and auto home makes sure that just all the motors and everything in this thing is working, which it seems to be doing fine. And that makes me very happy. I haven't used this thing in years and it still works, which is perfect. The next step is bed leveling, which means the plastic is gonna come down. Let me just show you. It's gonna be easier if I show you. Okay, I'm gonna go to prepare, and then just go to move axis, move by 1 millimeter, Gonna move the Z-axis up a little bit. That way I can show you easier. Over here, this is where the plastic comes out of this little thing here. The plastic will go down on this glass. So we need the distance between that glass and the plastic extruder coming out to be correct. And this entire plate needs to be nice and level so that the distance is the same everywhere. And that's what I'm gonna work on right now. So we're gonna start with auto home. Press auto home here. And once it's down in that corner, we're gonna measure the distance between the plastic extruder and the level of the bed. So we've got this device here to measure thicknesses. I'm gonna go with a 1/10 of a millimeter. Now I've selected the one that's a 1/10 of a millimeter thick. I'm gonna put it, I hope you can see this, put it between the nozzle and the glass, and then adjust the glass with these screws up here. These screws will make it go up or down, and I do that until I feel a little bit of friction between the glass and the nozzle, and then I know that I have got the correct distance. Okay, so I think I have the bed level enough. Now it's just time to do a test print. Exciting! Okay, but before we do a test print, I did disable all the motors, so I can just move everything by hand. But now it all needs to go back to the starting position, so I get back to prepare and auto home. There we go. Now, for the test print, I'm gonna preheat it for PLA. Click on that. And now the temperature for the plastic nozzle is gonna warm up and the bed is gonna warm up. And now I need to put a spool of plastic here, feed it into this machine, and hopefully it works. Okay, the plastic is going from my spool into the machine over there, going through this tube all the way into the hot end where the plastic will be melted for use. Time to start and try my first print. So, fingers crossed it's gonna work. As you can see on the top there, the nozzle needs to be 250 degrees. Right now it's 247, and the print bed needs to be at 100 degrees, and right now it's at 82. So once those temperatures are reached, it will start printing. Houston, we have a problem. It is printing, but it's not putting out any plastic. Well, it's done printing. The result isn't great. Let's look at it together. Okay, there it is. this is the result. It's so thin and flimsy. Oh, and it broke. And it broke in half already. Yep. Yeah, I've got some settings to tweak, but the printer is working. That's good. It's just that I need to change some settings. And for those of you wondering what this is a plant clip. So I was hoping to print out one of these so I can just, I can put this around my plant and then around this thing. So my plant gets stuck to the pole. But like I said, this thing is way too flimsy and not good enough. But like I said, I'm really happy with the fact that my printer is working. Now I just need to change settings when I'm printing something on the computer. Okay, I've been printing a good couple of times, changing settings every time, and the quality is slowly getting better. I'm not there yet, but I'm going in the right direction. Like I said, it's been too... And there we go, we've got a finished product. Awesome. Pops right off, that's perfect. There we go. Ooh, feels kind of soft. Awesome. Well, as you can see, I got my 3D printer working, which is awesome. This is just a little plastic drainage pot for my plants, like this little plant. This here hasn't got a draining pot, so this will fit inside to drain off excess water. So yeah, awesome. I'm happy I got it back working again. Now I just need to figure out cool projects that I can make with it. I see that a lot of you watch my videos that aren't subscribed. So why not do yourself a favor and not have to search YouTube all the time to find me, and subscribe. That way, when you open YouTube and I've got a new video, it will be easy to find. So yeah, hope that helps you out, and see you all next time. Thank you for watching. Bye. Dude, you okay? That must have hurt. Yeah, that hurt.